like to thank the grace of heaven and the virtues of the masters, the predecessors, grand predecessor, masters, temple masters, lecturers, for giving me this opportunity to lead the discussion on this today's topic, which is just the fundamentals of our Buddha nature class. People don't understand what Buddha nature is, right? So, I don't want to go too much in depth because I want to get to some of those terminologies that we constantly use in this class. But just in brief, there's some newcomers who don't know what that is. But Buddha nature, from Sanskrit, it's a term called Tathagata Garbha. Tathagata Garbha. Or there are other terms too, but suffice it for now. So what is Buddha nature? People generally think of it as a soul, a spirit. That's really wrong. Okay, what's that? Yeah, that's really wrong. That's not correct. All right. It's not a real true understanding because, and here's why. Because if let's say, whether, depending on your religious background, doesn't matter, be it Christianity, Muslim, or other various, even Hindu, Judaism, etc. Most religions, say there's a soul, right? There's a soul or spirit that allows us to be alive, what we call alive. All right, that we can think, we can breathe, we can, etc., etc. And so when the soul departs the body, that's what we say the body is dead. Okay. Now then there's a question of afterlife, right? Most religions believe that there is an afterlife, and then the soul goes either to there, up there, or down there, right? Okay, and go up there, you have eternal life. You have pleasures, paradise. It's paradise, right? Paradise. Heaven, right? Paradise, heaven. And then if you go down there, you suffer. It's hell, right? It's hell. Well, okay, so what suffers? Obviously, it's not the physical entity, right? Because the physical entity is dead. It's not living. So what suffers is that soul or spirit, right? And what enjoys pleasure is the soul and spirit up in paradise, right? Or heaven. But that's wrong. No. It's right. It's correct that the soul suffers. Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Okay, or spirit. But it's not the Buddha nature that suffers. Understand? So there's a difference. Okay, so Buddha nature is not a soul or spirit. You can say a soul or spirit comes from the Buddha nature. Yes, that is true. Okay, so what is the Buddha nature? That's the whole point of actually of what Buddha's 10,000 sutras or discourses is driving at. That's all his 10,000 plus sutras is essentially talking about the Buddha nature, or Tathagata Garbha. All right. There's another term, but never mind. There's no need to. It's not that important. But anyway, so the whole point is, if you don't understand, or you don't have an understanding, you don't, it's too much to ask for most people right now, to know totally, completely what Tathagata Garbha is. But at least, if you have some basic concepts, ideas, or knowledge, it'll get you closer. So if we don't understand what Tathagata Garbha is, or the whole idea of what it is, then you misunderstand. You don't understand all of Buddha's sutras, period. Sorry. Okay, all the scholars, all the PhDs, all the information you go on the internet, all they find is just purely superficial, or you can say literal. It could be literal or it could be non-literal. Doesn't matter. Interpretations of what Buddha was saying. So the whole point of our Buddha nature class is to go beyond the words, go beyond just normal academic scholarly interpretations. That's the key. So, okay, and let me step back a little bit. Buddha nature just to broadly describe, it's something that's non-attached, something that's non-dualistic, something that's unperturbed, something that's timeless, dimensionless. So therefore, it does not suffer. It cannot suffer. It's untaintable. I mean, the Heart Sutra talked about it, okay, in last week and 2 weeks ago's class. We talked a little bit about it, little bit about it, okay? So if it doesn't suffer, then obviously if the soul suffers, then the soul is not the Buddha nature. But you can say the soul comes from the Buddha nature. And the reason why we have a soul, what Buddha said, that the reason why we have a soul or spirit is because so long as we have attachments, if we have impurities, we call impurities, or imperfections for that matter, we will have a soul or spirit. Understand? And as long as we have karma, you know, part of that eighth consciousness, that storehouse, as long as that storehouse consciousness, that's part of the Lankavatara Sutra, okay? This is more advanced for most people. Most of you probably never read that sutra. But the eighth consciousness is the storehouse. It's called the alaya consciousness, right? That's where all our thoughts even, just even thoughts, never mind actions, words, actions, words, and thoughts, stored there. It's a store. It's like a cloud memory, or, you know, if you're going to use today's analogy, modern analogy. So even if we have a thought, it gets stored there. And that thought will create karma. In other words, it's the cause. It's a seed that's planted in there. And depending on secondary conditions later on, you know, over time, that thought or that seed will bear fruit. You get it? And so that's called karma. So the key is not to have anything, or not to have any seeds or causes in the eighth consciousness. But as long as we have something, then we'll have a soul or spirit. Get it? And so that's what leads to suffering, because we have some kind of attachment or some kind of desire, some kind of feelings, emotion, whatever, thoughts, okay, and that's what happens. Okay, so the whole idea is what Buddha was trying to tell his message, not just to his disciples, but to everybody, to say, we can transcend, we can go beyond the cycle of what he calls samsara, right? Birth and death, rebirth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Okay, it's because as long as we have a soul or spirit, that's what's going to happen. So the key is to go beyond that. And to go beyond that is he's talking about the Buddha nature. You get it? So that's why. And now, throughout his 10,000 plus sutras, okay, sometimes in one sutra, you know, when he's talking about a certain topic, you know, the Buddha nature in general, I mean, that's usually what it is, the essence. He would be saying one thing. Like, for example, he would be saying to the Brahmas of his day or the eternalists of the day, he'd say, no, there's no such thing as a soul or anatta. There's no self, no ego, no consciousness. He would tell them that, right? Okay, so he would say that. Then to those people who are, what do you call that, nihilists? No, nihilists is an extreme example, but people who deny existence of anything. Okay, existence of anything, you know, soul even or consciousness. He would tell them, no, you're wrong. There is something. There's a soul. There's an entity. So on the surface, you say, hey, how come on one thing, he's saying this, A, let's say it's A. And then on the other hand, he's telling other people it's B. So it's A and B. You get it? So the idea is, if you just read his sutras, on the surface level meaning, it would seem contradiction, right? It would say, hey, on the one hand, he's saying there's a soul, there's no soul. On the other hand, he's telling that there is a soul. Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. Superficial, right? I mean, right? So I mean, all right? So, but the whole idea is what he's trying to say is that there's something beyond these. So he's saying that he's telling the people who are, you know, who have these dogma, the Brahmas of his day, which is the Hindu religion, that believe in the the trio of deities, that there is a eternal soul or spirit, in the afterlife and whatever, it continues. He's telling them that that's a wrong view. That's a wrong belief. All right? Okay? On the other hand, to the people who deny existence of anything, he's telling them that, no, there is something. You get it? So, but that, to go beyond that, he's not saying that, oh, there's a soul. There is a soul. As long as we're humans, as long as there's a celestial heaven and underworld, there are souls. There are souls. Okay? But that's not eternal. That's not eternal. That's not the true essence. Okay? That's only a shadow, an image of something else, which is the Tathagata Garbha, or Buddha nature. Get it? Because it's the Buddha nature that allows you to have that soul, that consciousness, etc., etc. All right? But because we have a quote-unquote defiled mind, or we have attachments, we have emotions, we have, anger, we have rage, we have lust, we have desires, attachments, we will generate that soul. Get it? So then to the nihilists, people who say, don't believe anything, he goes, that's wrong too. Because then there are two ideas. One is actual reality. There is a Tathagata Garbha, right? Okay, and therefore that generates a soul, a shadow, whatever. But at the second time, the second point of this to those people who deny the existence of a soul, his message is to say, wait a minute, if you deny that there's existence of soul or anything, then that means you could do whatever you want in this life and have no consequences. Make sense? No consequences, because there's nothing left, right? There's nothing else. So he's telling them that that's wrong. You get it? So there's a two level. Okay? So that's the broad overall. Okay. Now I want to go more specific. There's a couple terms in here that I want to use an example of what we mean by Buddha nature. That in general, if you read his sutras, same thing with Confucius, same thing with Lao Tzu. It's very similar, just that they have different focus, different from a different perspective. There are what we call dictionary meaning or surface meaning. Surface meaning. You get it? Surface meaning. You understand what surface meaning means, right? Or literal meaning, literal interpretation. And then there's something that's beyond. Okay? And that's what the whole Buddha nature, this glossary, is trying to get us to understand, right? And so by understanding some of these concepts or phrases or terminologies that you'll see or you read, you'll come across quite a bit in all his sutras, it's to help us understand, what is the true meaning of what Buddha was trying to tell us about our very essence, our very nature, which is that Buddha nature. Okay.
When will the Buddha nature revealed? When in such kind of condition, Buddha nature coming out. When we are in very pure, very no motive, not attached to anything. So we are in the middle path. We are not in right or wrong, good or bad situation. With no thought, situation. Buddha nature will reveal, will come out in charge in the moment. So that's very important, as our Holy Teacher said that.
Right.
So we need nothing to do, we need to maintain that state. That Buddha nature stage.
Yeah, it's the state of what we call quiescence, okay, or jijing, right? Jijing, jimian, right? That's a phrase in here, okay? It's in page. Yeah, it's in page. It's the last page, the last page 9. Yeah, page 9 or page 8 near the bottom. Unfortunately, okay, I haven't done it in Chinese, and I guess further down the road we'll add pinyin for those people who can't read Chinese. But I strongly urge you to learn some Chinese because it'll only help you better understand what Buddha nature is, as opposed to hinder you. I can guarantee you, if you don't understand any Chinese, it's a big challenge. Okay, it's a big challenge. That's all I'm going to say. Right?
In Dharma class, in Dharma class, one teacher, I was in Dharma class, I saw the scripture. One teacher explained, 佛性就是灵性，但是我们这个灵性，它没有那些 attachment to anything.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, 所以我们现在讲说，佛性不是灵性， 是这样讲，很小心。佛性、灵性，刚你讲对，佛灵性是佛性的一部分。
Yeah.
它有 a lot of Buddha nature is our spirit with a lot of attachment, with all the desire, like all you talk about desire, attachment, all the right, wrong image, all the stuff are attached to our original spirit. That's why it was not pure Buddha nature. So our spirit has those kind of stuff which
Yeah, but-
Buddha don't have. The Buddha nature is very pure, very still, no motive, not attached to anything. Okay, in the middle path, no right, no wrong, no good and bad. Our spirit, the way we do things, when people come to the building, we say, okay, this is lady, this is gentleman, this is kid, this is elderly, this is young people. Human beings see the difference. Buddha saw each person, they only see their Buddha nature. They are like Buddhas, all Buddha nature. They don't see the difference from person to person. Human beings see the difference from there. So that's why our Buddha nature is not, our spirit is not as pure as Buddha nature in this case.
Yeah. See, here's the problem with semantics. See, that's why we have to be mindful. See, because when we say spirit, soul, right? Okay, and then when we say Buddha nature, and people say, okay, they equate the two. We have to be careful, and here's why. Because spirit can be good or bad, pure, impure. That's dualistic, right? Dualistic. Yeah. Buddha nature is non-dualistic. So you cannot say, oh, there's a pure Buddha nature and there's an impure Buddha nature. That doesn't make sense. That's contradiction. That does not make sense. Because Buddha nature is absolute. 一为无, 一为有无. Okay? 一为有无. 一 means one, unity. 为 means many. So that's what? Dualistic, right? There's one and there's many. Isn't that dualistic? And then 有跟无, 有 means there something exists. And 无 means doesn't exist, non-existence. Existence, none. That's all dualistic. Buddha nature is not dualistic, right? I just said it earlier. So we should not equate Buddha nature with spirit, because spirit can be defined as there's a good spirit, evil spirit, right? Because we have devils, right? That's an evil spirit or evil beings, asuras, whatever, right? And we have deities, celestial beings, things like Zeus, Apollo, whoever, I don't know, whatever, those beings. Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, etc., right? Okay? So there are good spirits and bad spirits, or good deities, bad deities, whatever you want to call them. That's dualistic. Get it? Buddha nature is not that. It's Buddha nature that allows you to have those things, okay? But the reason why we have those things, these evil, good, and bad, and all that stuff, is because we have attachments. We have subject-object duality. We have a notion of ego, me, and you. Isn't that duality? Me and you, right? Me and you. Us and them, right? Okay, good and evil. That's dualistic. Understand? So actually, at the highest level, Buddha nature is none of that. Get it? It's none of that. All right? So that's, it's hard. It's hard to describe. So we're stuck. We're stuck using dualistic words to describe something that's absolute, that's non-dualistic. It's impossibility. That's impossible. In math, in logic, that's impossible. If you use logic alone, it's impossible. Okay? So that's why it's the challenge. That's the challenge. That's why there's so few Buddhas in this world, because they can't get beyond this dualism. And also, yo wei, we say yo wei. That means there's a motive, there's a condition. There's a condition. Okay? So just understand, the reason why spirits exist, because they are conditioned. There's a condition. What's the condition? We have attachments. That's the condition. So if those conditions go away, then the spirit's gone. What's left is our Buddha nature. Make sense?
That's
Yeah.
That's good sentence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
From our spirits, all the attachment,
Yeah.
all the two sides,
Yeah, dualism,
yeah.
three poisons, whatever, all that. Yeah. What's left? Buddha nature. Yeah, but Buddha nature you can't describe. 不可思议, right? You can't describe. Like I said, remember I say it's absolute. I say it's non-dualistic, dimensionless, timeless. It's eternal. So to Buddha nature, time is meaningless. If you're eternal, if you exist forever, no beginning, no end, what's time? What's time to you? Doesn't make sense, right? The reason why time exists for us is because one day, some year ago, we were born, and then some year in the future, we're going to be gone. That's why time is important. And why also time, right? In physics, if you use physics, 3 dimensions, right? To measure distance, right? Measure distance, right? Right? Distance is equal to velocity times time, right? That's basic math, right? Newtonian mechanics, right? So because we exist in this space, get it? Existence. There's existence. There's a space. Okay, we exist. So therefore, there will be time. We exist in this form. There will be time. I mean, spirits too. Spirits, because remember, they're not Buddha nature yet. They're still in a dualistic dimension or realm or whatever, space. Dualistic space, maybe that's a better term. Okay? Because they exist in dualistic space. So even in the underworld, it's not eternal. Underworld is not eternal. Even the Bible said that. Even the Bible. In the beginning, there was no such thing as an underworld. It's because what? According to God, right, there was what's that? Who's that angel? His chief angel? Then he became Satan, so he went to rule the underworld, right? Okay, that's also John Milton's Paradise Lost, if you guys read that. Okay, so, all right? And there's celestial heavens, which is the opposite, dualism, remember? Opposite of the underworld. There's celestial heaven, you know that? There, according to Hinduism and Buddhism, there are like 33 levels, or I forgot how many levels. There are a lot of heavens. Just like the Greek Apollos, the Zeus, the Poseidons, whoever, I don't know, whatever, all these gods, these deities. That's all celestial. They're not absolute, okay? They also exist in a dualistic space, okay? All right? Get it? So that's not Buddha nature. So if you get rid of all that dualism, get rid of that sense of ego, me and you, get rid of all your bad tempers, your what we call 3 poisons, which is on this list, okay? What remain, if you can get rid of all that, all these what we call quote-unquote impurities. I mean, I don't like to use the term impurities, but defilements, but just any notions, any ideas, anything, any construct, any dualism, any dualistic notions, okay, any dualistic notions, then what's left is that absolute entity. Get it? That absolute entity. So then you transform that. So Buddha what said, actually, when you can sum up in one phrase what Buddha's teaching is. Yes, he's talking about the Tathagata Garbha, which is our Buddha nature, but you can say his Dharma, quote unquote, or teaching is, right? You can sum it up in one phrase, right? It's what? Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Okay? 无上正等正觉. That's the single core of all his teachings. And what does that mean? Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi means you transcend, you go beyond this dualistic space, notions of spirit, souls, etc., etc., etc. Okay, birth and death, rebirth, etc., etc. What we call samsara, reincarnation, samsara. And you become what? You're in this Dharma Dhatu, or 究竟界, okay? 究竟界, yeah. Dharma Dhatu, which is absolute realm, which is what? The realm of Buddhas, you can say, okay? Or enlightenment, or nirvana. You can say nirvana, okay? 寂静, okay? 寂静. That we call it state, okay? Some people say that's a place, but see, that place becomes notion of space, which is dimensional dualistic, okay? So that's the essence of his teaching. So what's critical to understand his teaching is we have to understand what Buddha nature is. And it's in all of us, okay? All of us are equals in that respect. So, how fairer can you get, right? It's equal opportunity for everybody. The question is whether or not you want to achieve it. Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. That's the question. So you don't have to rely on an external deity, external master, external entity, something like that. I don't know. Some people worship the sun, some people worship a tree, a mountain, a river, etc., etc. You don't have to do that. You get it? To achieve that. It's all within all of us. How much fairer can you get? You don't have to rely on anything. You just have to rely on yourself, on your Buddha nature, really. But okay? The question is, how much do you want it? The question is, do you really want that? For most people say, oh, that's beyond me. That's beyond my intellect. See, they really misunderstood. They really misunderstood. Buddha nature, the realization of one's or understanding and realization. Yeah, initially it takes some learning. Yeah, knowledge. It is some knowledge. It is. That is true. That is true. But actually, at the higher level, it's no knowledge. It's actually no knowledge. Because knowledge can be acquired, no? So if something can be acquired, if something can be lost. Understand? Isn't that dualistic?
Yeah, let's come back to the question for all of us. How do we do it to get there? At least get closer to the Buddha level. Okay, how do we do it? Okay, for us, now how do we start it? Get rid of our, sometimes we have a bad temper, right? Get upset, get angry, get emotion. Get rid of all this emotion, bad temper. Next one is get rid of all our bad habits. Very simple, get rid of our bad habits. And get rid of all our attachments. All the attachment, and then also desires. You know, we have a lot of desire, attachment, those kind of stuff. At least from basic up. You know, that's how we started to cultivate, getting better and better. So, and then also, a lot of things, we see things, we say right, wrong, good, bad. Try to not be between either side, try to be in the middle path. Okay, Buddha treat everything in the middle path. They don't see the right, wrong, good, or bad situation. And also, we need to be in a pure and then positive state. Mental state. And also the other thing is no motives. Anything we do, no motives. Okay? And the other thing is always ready, don't attach to anything. Attach to anything. Sometimes we attach to form, fame, power, money in our life. So those stuff we need to avoid it. So once we start to do that a little every day, we will get better and better. Get close to the Buddha nature stage, which is all the Buddhas are in their stage for all. So try to talk about more little easy practical stuff for people to start to do it. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
We talk about Buddha nature, how to manifest.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm not so sure is, in order to manifest Buddha nature, we have to get rid of all those attachments, desire, whatever it is. What about being vegetarian? That is also poverty. You have compassion.
Those kind of stuff come back to here, maybe the next two lectures. No lecture again. Buddha didn't ask us to get rid of all those stuff. Like kids, the mother, parents love the kids. That's supposed to be natural. Very naturally, in the middle path, supposed to have that. So we do good things, and somebody's kids are on the street, very dangerous. We automatically try to pick up the kid to the side. That's normally we're supposed to do that. There's no right or wrong. Human beings treat it, oh, I do the good things there. From Buddha's point of view, that we're supposed to do. It's no good, no bad to do. So human beings get into that right, wrong, good, bad situation. From Buddha's point of view, compassion always there. Always kindness, all those stuff is already part of their Buddha nature. So, but in the meantime, we don't want to attach to anything. Human beings, we attach to that. I want that. I want to do that. I want that. All kind of stuff. Then I want money, I want power, I want position. Human beings will attach to those kind of stuff. We try to let it calm down to avoid those stuff. Always very peace, very still, very pure stage. So that's the state we want to maintain. Getting closer and closer to the Buddha, to the heaven. That's how that's good.
What I mean is, in order to manifest Buddha nature, do you necessarily to be vegetarian?
That's what she was waiting for.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. If you truly are enlightened, you will become a vegetarian. Absolutely. See, so yeah. And here's a very basic reason. See, so if you don't understand Buddha nature yet, then you will not understand that even animals, which are what Buddha calls sentient beings, because they can what? Sense. They can feel. Animals definitely can feel pain. People say, oh, fish, when I catch the fish and I hook them up, they don't feel pain. Oh, yeah? Why don't you get a hook on your lips? I'll tell you whether or not you'll feel pain or not. Absolutely, you'll feel pain. How about, animals don't know what joy is. Make a bet. You have pets, right? A lot of people have pets. You have dogs. You have cats. Never mind dogs and cats. Horses, whatever. Doesn't matter. When they wag their tail, They're not happy to see you? So they don't have pleasure? They don't sense joy? Wrong. They obviously do. So that's why animals have sentient beings, okay? So from Buddha's perspective, from the Buddha nature view, correct? Buddha nature point of view, that's very important. All animals also are Buddhas. Or have Buddha nature. Maybe that's a better term. The reason why they're not humans is because they are subject to karma, and that in previous lifetime or whatever, previously, they did bad things. They were maybe humans or whatever. They did really bad things. They either kill a lot of pigs, kill a lot of animals, whatever. Hunters, they're fishermen, whatever. Well, you remember your actions have consequences, right? That's causality, right? Okay, causality is a universal law in any dimensional space, right? Okay, so when you created that, then in some future life, future reincarnation, whatever, you'll become an animal. Very simple, okay? So that's why, okay? So they all are sentient beings and have the Buddha nature, okay? So if you understand that, if you are looking from your Buddha nature perspective, if we are looking from that, then you automatically will not kill animals to eat them. Make sense?
Yep.
Because they have Buddha nature. All right? So I hopefully answer you that question. Just that on the surface, at the beginning level, people say, there's still notion of differentiation, which I will get to. Yeah, differentiation, 四相, right? I'll talk about that. That's in the Diamond Sutra and other sutras, but Diamond Sutra really doesn't explain it. I mean, if you read the translation, all it does is say, those four things. What does that mean? It's subject to interpretation. That's why we have to learn Buddha nature, okay? Because if you read just those, any sutra in general, but Diamond Sutra specifically, but it's those four terminologies. Oh, what does that mean? It's very okay. So what I was trying to get at is that the reason why we study Buddha nature is to get to that level, get closer. You can say get closer to our Buddha nature. Then you'll realize, so that's what it is. So automatically, you'll know what to do. And that's the wisdom part. That's the Mahaprajna, right? The divine wisdom, right? The 知识, right? The 智慧, right? The 妙智慧, right? Okay, the Mahaprajna that will, be revealed, or you can say will be manifested. Because you have no what? Defilements. No knowledge cluttered in your mind, blocking everything. It's like the clouds blocking the sun, right? Okay, it's like that, all right? Okay, so let me jump. I just want to, because it's page 2, all right? We talk about the 4 images, fourth phrase, right? I mean, we're going to do pinyin later, but it's going to make the pages longer, okay? And I don't know if we want to number them. 四相, right? It's called the 4. Well, I change it to 4 marks of existence, which that's what it is. That's the standard dictionary. If you look up a Buddhist dictionary, that's what they'll say. All right, and it's mentioned quite a bit in Diamond Sutra. Okay, it's mentioned 19 times or something like that, 19 or 21 times. So it's quite a bit. All right. Okay, that's the Diamond Sutra. Okay, and it talks about the 4 marks with regard to, or incorrect views. Now, there's another sutra. I mean, there are other sutras that talked about, but this one's more general. It's called the Mahavaipoya Samnipata, okay, sutra, which is a Da Fang Deng, Da Ji Jing, okay? That's a sutra called that, all right? And what has to deal with those 4 things, the 4 marks? What are they? With regard to our ego or atta, yeah, I, the I. Or my consciousness. No, not just the physical I. It could also represent your mind consciousness, okay? That's important, all right? Okay? And then the second one, so that's in Chinese, it's called wo, okay? I. It means I. Okay, me, I. Yeah. Okay? And then
That's me.
I. It means I, yeah. And then literally it means I, okay, literally.
Because human being, right? Whatever we do, we think about how do I benefit.
Yeah,
how
self.
do I
Yeah,
overall,
self.
We benefit from ourselves immediately. Right? Human being, whatever we do, we think how do I get a return. Right? That's normal human being. Yeah, what's for me?
Yeah,
But
what's in it for you?
Buddha's always what the living being can get, not what he can get or she can get. That's a different point of view. Yeah.
Okay, and then second one, we call differentiate or of personality or others. Okay, 人. I mean, there's a you, there's others, there are others. Okay, that's what I mean. Just means others. So there's an I, and then there are others, right? I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? More humans think like that. Okay, actually, what that means at a higher level, at a general level, maybe more general, it's the subject-object differentiation. Get it? Subject-object differentiation. Okay, it's subject-object differentiation. That means there's me and you now. Okay, or we and them. Okay. All right? There's differentiation. Or you can say humans and animals. Right? There's differentiation. You say, oh, there are humans and then there are animals. Right? Okay? Right. Okay? So that's just general. Okay? This is the very general level. Then the third level is 众生. Literally, it means sentient beings. Okay? Now, it's not clearly explained in the Diamond Sutra, okay? But it's in other sutras, the Mahavaipoya Mahasamnipata Sutra. Example is one. There are Prajna Sutras that mentions this, okay, something like that, okay? So what we mean by sentient beings is that there's a view that, sentient beings, there are different viewpoints about what sentient beings are composed of. Some people, like I said, there are eternalists, there are nihilists, there are what we call the dualism, etc. So all these different viewpoints about what constitutes sentient beings, right? What Buddha is using this term of 4 marks, he's saying that the third term, sentient beings, is that sentient beings are constituted of just those 5 what we call aggregates, or 5 heaps, or skandhas, right? You know what the 5 heaps are, right? If you look down on page 4, 5, page 5, page 4, page 4, 5, page 5, top of page 5, right? What skandhas are, right? Right? What skandhas are, top of page 5, right? That make up, right? Sentient beings are composed of those 5, you can say, components, parts, whatever. Okay, form, sensations, feelings, perceptions or conceptions, mental formations or imprints, impulses, intentions, etc., volition, and then consciousness or cognition or awareness, you can say, or mind. Okay, so what Buddha is saying, all sentient beings, and that is what? Including animals, right? Animals have these things. So whereas when we go back to page 2, the 4 marks, right? It says incorrect view of sentient beings. We humans say, oh, no, they're humans, and then they're animals. You get it? Humans and animals. You get it? And that's wrong view. That's a wrong view. Get it? That's a wrong understanding. Okay? Understand? That's what they mean by sentient beings. Okay? All right? This is one example. Okay? Make sense? Okay? So basically, that includes animals. Okay? So sentient beings are composed of this. Okay? And that includes animals. Okay? The fourth one is... It's called so. It's a literal translation. It means it has to do with this lifespan, okay, the span of one's life. I mean, that's the literal translation, okay. So life as but in the Diamond Sutra or in one use of this term is to say that life or being is only limited to something, a form, an entity. Get it? A form. So we're saying, there's only a life in a human being or an animal. That's a wrong view. Because life, there's spiritual. You get it? There's spiritual. There's celestial, underworld, whatever. Understand? Okay? So what it means is he's talking about that. The incorrect, the higher level understanding is that, the reason why we have entities or have life, what we call existence, being, existence, is that it's based on causality. There's dependent origination involved. Get it? That's what it means. So that's what he meant by these 4 terms, 4 marks of existence. The reason why we exist, the 4th term, is because it's due to, we can say causality. I mean, you can say karma, okay? That's very narrow. But broad just means causality. There's a causality. There's a cause to cause you to exist, to have a form, to have a body. Get it? Okay? There's a reason for that. Okay? So that's what the 4 marks represent. Okay? So unfortunately, in the Diamond Sutra, they don't explain it in this type of detail. So the whole idea of our Buddha nature class is to understand, what it means. You get it? Okay? Because on the surface level, we just say, what's an I, an others, sentient beings, and longevity or lifespan. That's it's open to interpretation. It's very vague. All right? Okay. So we got to be careful. All right. So that makes sense, right? So he's saying that all humans or all life forms have these 4 marks. We have a view. We have a view of I. We have a view of others. We have a view of humans and animals or whatever. They're different, right? Okay. And we have a view of only life is in some kind of being, form, existence. That's it. So these are all wrong. Get it? These are all wrong. Or that's why I say incorrect views. Understand? Okay. So we, unfortunately, because people who are not enlightened would have these type of views. These are normal views. These are typical views. Okay? Okay, now let's I don't want to talk about 5 scanner. I want to talk one more if I have time. Go to page 3, second from the bottom. I mean, there are many others, but we don't have time to go through each one of these. All right? Let's just talk about this one. Okay, everybody know what the 四重罪 or 四劫, right? 劫, 四重境, right? That 四重境, yeah, that means they're what they call the 4 grave sins. Okay, 4, I won't say 4 deadly sins. They're just very grave, very serious, very heavy, serious, bad things. Okay, taboos. You can say taboos. Okay, what are they? I mean, so this is surface meaning. This is very, very superficial level. Killing, stealing, carnality or lust, and lying. These are 4. Okay, that's very standard. That's dictionary meaning. That's superficial. That's very external. You can say external, right? That's very external, right? Okay, all right? That's outside of you. Well, lying is, you have to, the only reason why you lie is because you're lying to somebody, right? You're saying something. I mean, if there's nobody, you don't need to lie, right? If there's nobody, right? Okay, there's no need to lie because you don't have to say anything, right? So at the very superficial meaning, that's what it means, right? Okay, these are bad. Okay, but at the higher level, what Buddha was saying, okay, I forgot which sutra was this that he talked about. I forgot. I should have put it down, but it doesn't matter. It's not important. At an advanced level, I said, right, or esoteric school, talks about that. Yeah, the esoteric, the 密宗门. I mean, it's a branch of Buddhism, but don't worry about that. Okay, they're big on this. Okay, what's the first correspondent, the internal? You can say internal level or the high advanced level of understanding what killing means. They're saying that we have to what? Get rid of our dharmas, teachings. Very interesting. Get rid of dharmas. Very interesting. What does that mean? The whole idea is that we cannot be attached to any teaching because that's wrong. Any teaching. You get it? Okay, here's an example. Let's tell a story. Okay, one day Buddha was given a lecture, a discourse to a bunch of his disciples. Okay, he said, okay, this is A, B, C, D, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Okay, that's it. And then one of the disciples then came to approach Buddha and said, oh, Buddha, is your teaching saying A, this, B, this, C, this, they, that, and then that? Buddha said, yeah, that's right. That's correct. And then the disciples, oh, so that's it, right? And the Buddha said, no. Get it? So he's saying, don't become attached to this specific teaching. Because that specific teaching is only looking at from one perspective. And it's only for one level. Get it? One level.
Give a very simple example. If we ride a boat across the river, time get to the other side, we let go of the boat.
Yeah.
From Buddha
Do you need a
view,
boat?
We use the Dharma to help us become a Buddha.
Paramita, across the boat,
So
across the shore.
When Buddha, they were Dharma, it's just a tool.
Yeah,
for them to
it's a
get
tool,
there.
yeah.
So we let it go.
Right.
Even tools are attachment.
Right. Yeah. So we cannot be reliant. And there's a reason why. The reason why we have so many different ideologies, viewpoints, it's because people what? Are attached to say, oh, no, my interpretation is correct. My reading of the Bible, my reading of the Quran, my reading of the Buddhist scriptures is this. Your reading is wrong. Get it? So we attach. We say, oh, my reading is correct. Yours is incorrect. That's dangerous. Get it? That's what causes all these religious conflicts, disruptions, etc., etc. That's the problem because we become attached. Yeah? We become to attach. Oh, no, this is my teaching or this is our teaching. Our interpretation is correct. Yours is incorrect. So we are believers. You are infidels. Right? Etc., etc. Right? That's the problem. See, that's a danger. That's a consequence of not discarding our teachings. Get it? Not understanding that they're just tools, a way. It's like saying, I'm a finger pointing to the moon. The finger is not the moon. The finger is just a tool. It's a compass, direction, whatever. Right? Same idea. Okay? Same idea. All right? Okay, so that's the first that's the first one. The second one is this is even tougher. We say stealing, okay? What's the higher meaning? The higher meaning, internal meaning, is we even have to discard what? The Bodhi mind. Wow. People say, oh, that's a contradiction. That's a contradiction. Now, the reason why Buddha said that, he mentioned it in the Diamond Sutra too, but he didn't talk about he wasn't talking about Bodhi mind. He said, even you have to get rid of he talked about the first one, but he talked discarding the sutras. But he talked about that, says, if you are a bodhisattva and you consider yourself to be a bodhisattva, then you're not really a bodhisattva. You know that? Get it? Understand? The same thing, same idea. Bodhi mind. That means the idea is still attached. We still think, oh, there's an image. There's something called the Bodhi mind. Bodhi mind is the Puti Xing, which is the what? You can say, the view or the mind of a enlightened being. You can call it that. Or the mind, the definition, the normal definition of Bodhi mind is the mind that does not cease, that does not arise nor cease. Get it? 不生不灭的心. That's really what the Bodhi is. But we cannot get attached to that because that's still, it's just, what's a Shibuti? Shibuti reply in response to Buddha. Buddha say, oh, Shibuti, do you know that, even you cannot call yourself a Buddha? And what Shibuti said, yes, I understand the world honor one because it is only a name, a label. So this Bodhi mind is just a label. Get it? A label to describe our Buddha nature. So we should not be attached to that. Understand? Okay? Understand. All right? That's the second one. All right? Then the third one is to what? Carnality or lust, and the third being what? Selfish respect to the supreme teaching. All right? 连起正法. Right? That means we keep it to ourselves. We say, oh, I discovered the truth. I become enlightened, whatever, okay? I don't want to tell anybody else. It's only, but then that's still what? A notion of I and others. You get it? I and me. Remember we talk about 4 marks? Same thing, right? Okay, so that's wrong. Make sense? That's wrong, okay? Because why? From a Buddha's perspective, if you're truly enlightened, like a Bodhisattva or Buddha, there's no differentiation, remember? Right? Those 4 marks, there's no such thing. And so you automatically will say, treat everybody the same, like you, like yourself, like ourselves. And you will want everybody to what? Attain the same level, Anuttara Samaya Sambodhi, as you did. You get it? So it's the same. So that's what the higher level means. Being selfish. Because there's no, once again, I, right? There's an I, ego. Get it? Okay, so that's the third. Then the last one is to what? What's that? 恼害众生, right? What does that mean? You intentionally harm all sentient beings. That includes animals, by the way. Okay, that includes animals, right? Remember the 4 marks? Okay, same idea. Okay, that includes animals. So if you're a fisherman, a butcher, a cattle rancher, a poultry rancher, whatever, you're going to have very bad karma. Okay, because you willingly, that's or you sell drugs, you sell alcohol, that harms people. You get it? So, or you deal in arms, right? You deal in military weapons. Hey, I'm an arms dealer, right? Okay, that's also part of the the Eightfold Path. Remember what number 5 is it? Number 5, which says what? Right? Those 5 trades, 5 occupations that we should avoid. Right? Okay, that's Eightfold Noble Path. Okay, Noble Eightfold Path. 八正道里面有讲八正道. Okay, so that's what it means. Understand? So that's the deeper meaning. You get it? Okay, make sense? I want to do more, but we don't have time, so we can save it for next week. I want to do page. What the heck is it? I want to go to page 4 later. All right, next page. Okay, the 5th term. All right, that's important too. 5th term. 忤逆, right? 忤逆, 五间, yeah. Okay, because there's an external meaning and there's an internal, there's an advanced meaning. All right?
五戒也稍微讲一下，五戒。
Oh, 五戒, yeah. Okay. Page 4, the 5th term. 4th and 5th term. You can. Well, 5th term it has more, it's more detail.
第4、第5 ，number 4、number 5 on page 4.
Because there's an external and there's an internal side, right? The external side's all, you should not kill your father, you should not kill your mother, you should not harm or cause discord in a community of cultivators, and you should not, kill an arhat or shed the blood of Buddha, all right? All right, so that's external. Yeah, that's external, right? That's all external. But there's a higher level, okay? So that's the internal aspect.